What up, y'all? So I'm waiting for my guest, my brother, my homeboy, my friend, Mr. Swave Sever. Um, yeah, we want to discuss the Tsu Surf situation a a little bit more in detail. I mean, more details are still coming out, and I guess, bruh, and they and they look like the cartoon a little bit. You could tell, it don't look exactly like it, but speaking of road runner, should Tsu Surf had just went on a run? I mean, he knew he knew the heat was on his way. Y'all remember when y'all remember when he tuned when he let everybody know, he let the whole battle rap community know that his days was numbered. They did spaces and all of that. It was emotional. He could have just gotten a win, you know. Surf Surf is Surf is he could blend in. You know what I mean? He not that tall. He ain't gonna stand out. I mean, if he hiding, right? What y'all think? Hold on a second. All right, well, Son ain't here. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, should Surf had just went on the road. I mean, went on the run. I mean, I'm just asking. That's really a rhetorical question. He really couldn't. I don't know how you gotta forsake your entire life. Had, he got too much good going on for itself for him to forsake the whole game, his whole hustle, in order to be on the run. You know what I mean? But what I have been hearing is this. I mean, listen, just as a rule of thumb, like I stated this in my earlier blog. You know what I mean? Wave get here, he just get here. And I'm gonna start right now. When you've been through some things, you know certain things. Like, I've been through multiple situations with the law. I've been in a situation where I had co-defendants where everybody told on me. I've been in situations where the first nigga that got locked up told on all of us. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth, right? I've also been in situations where, like that situation. First of all, the situation where everybody told on me, that was the longest I was ever locked up, and I was only locked up for 6 months, right? I beat that. I mean, I feel like when you say you beat it, you kind of saying you were in this. You kind of suggesting that you were guilty, but you got off. No, I wasn't guilty. You know what I mean? But somehow all of the dudes, and that kind of negates. The dudes didn't tell on me, they lied on me. They threw me under the bus. Yes, it was a robbery that went down, and me and my boys were in the area not to rob nothing. We were in the area for battle, and I don't mean rap battle either, right? So we was out there for that, and so when dudes was up there doing recklessness, they was robbing random dudes walking up and down the strip. Like, I'm stopping niggas, like I'm cursing niggas out, because I'm like, yo, we not here for that. You understand what I'm saying? And if we up here, one of us got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you putting everybody in jeopardy, right? So the dude that we all got locked up for was one of those dudes that they robbed already. Now, I mean, one of those dudes that I stopped them from robbing. But for whatever reason, like, all of my co-defendants was dudes that I didn't know like that. Like, they was like, listen, the dudes that I was up there with, they wouldn't have, you understand? Those were the dudes that I know, and those were the dudes who were sticking to the plan. Niggas wasn't robbing nothing. You understand what I'm saying? They was waiting to see who we saw so we could shake out, right? But I got locked up with all these randoms, the dudes who actually, you understand what I'm saying? And because they didn't really know me, threw me under the bus. Whatever the case may be, I didn't cop out. I got released. Like, I got locked up in November. I came home the end of April and kept fighting my case. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't even know whether or not they dropped out. I mean, whether they copped out or not or whatever, but yeah, I won that case and never did no time for it. But where was I going? The moral of the story is, bro, if you ever in a situation where we all co-defendants and we decide we copping out. You understand? There's no we agree that we not beating this case right here. So we might as well cop it on out, and see if we could get the least amount of time as possible, right? Under those circumstances, we all telling, right? But none of us are violating bro code or man code, or, you know, understand what I'm saying, a crime code. And that has happened. That's in my last video on this matter. That's what I meant when I was saying certain things are just standard. You know what I'm saying? That's standard out here. And then, but somebody said to me that no, somebody said in the comments that Surf told first, like he was the first one to tell, and so on and so forth. I don't know who that person is, and I don't know how informed that person is. But Geechee Gotti raised a good point. If a nigga co-defendants ain't out here saying he did bad, that should say a lot. That says a whole right there. A whole people concerned with whether or not a nigga is following the street code that they don't even live. Most of you niggas in here on the internet in the comments talking about, you know what I'm saying? He a snitch, point blank, period. Y'all don't mean niggas ain't niggas. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all ain't y'all, it don't even matter to y'all. Like, y'all would snitch if y'all was in the situation. How about the niggas that it really mattered to do all of the arguing? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause how, yeah, bro. Like, if we all, like, what was a good point Geechee made? He like, yo, we if we all decide we gonna cop out, we don't all have to cop out at the same time. Like, I might want to stay close to the city longer. Once I cop out, once we cop out, we getting shipped up north. What if I might want to stay on the island for an extra 6 months because I got certain benefits there and so on and so forth. But from what I'm hearing, all of the yesing, they ask them questions, are you a part of a gang, blah blah. They already know that, B. You go ahead and say no to that, and you beat all the other charges, and it's the Rolling 60s a gang. They need you to say. They only asking you that to see what you look like when you lie, because they know the answer to a question like that. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta, respectfully, I could think of Kate. I ain't gonna get into that because I don't want to bring up no old tensions or nothing like that. But certain things, like like if my brother commit a crime, right? My mother's other son. If this nigga commit a crime, and I get locked up because we look alike, they think I'm him, and for whatever reason I get locked up. They go, "Do you know the person in this picture?" And I say no. Nigga, I ain't doing nothing but buying myself a year. Cause it's obvious to everybody that I know this person. It might be wise for me to go, yes, of course I know him. I don't know if he guilty of this crime or blah blah blah. I don't know nothing about what he's supposed to have did. But to say I don't know him is stupid. So if they ask him, is the Rolling 60s script is that a gang? Of course if you don't say no, I mean if you don't there's something wrong with you. Or maybe something ain't wrong with you, but you're misinformed. You're setting yourself up for failure. You beat all the other charges, and they just get you on that because they know that's true. Anyway, let me see something. All right, so that one there is reports of one dude. I'm saying reports. I didn't read none of the paperwork myself. I only seen the vloggers pulling it up and talking about it. There is um, there is a report of well, no, somebody said that there was one dude who Surf's testimony hurt. It's like he was planning on he hadn't copped out yet. I haven't heard I just heard who was it? It was Piper Boy who was reading off that, those details, so on and so forth. And it was like there was this one guy he didn't Surf's testimony Surf's compliance hurt his case. And I'm not, if that's true, I'm not saying I'm not ignoring that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something to be that's something that deserves attention. I mean, if you in the mind where you care about all of this that much. You know what I mean? Um here's my question to the niggas who more street than me. You know what I mean? I'm not asking none of if you ain't never did time or been arrested a whole bunch of times, you ain't never copped out, you ain't never had a co-defendant, or none of those things of that nature. I'm not asking you this. What I'm asking you is to all of the people who've been through it and who understand. If the three of us get like, or let's say me and you, the two of us. No, let's say it's three, four, five of us get knocked, right? And four of us agree. Let's say we all agree that we're gonna take time, we're gonna cop out, right? And one dude changed his mind. Let's say we don't all agree. Let's say the four of us know that we got no. Four out of five of us know. For we look at we listen. This ain't our first rodeo. We all agree we ain't got no chance to win this case, right? We all agree, and we telling the fifth nigga, yo, you should cop out too. Understand what I'm saying? We yo, look, you listen, bro. This is looking shaky, bro. And it ain't. It's past shaky. This case is unwinnable. Our best bet is to take some time. Blah blah blah. And that fifth dude don't want to take no time. And the other four dudes go, all right, listen, bro, you on your own. What is that? Did those four dudes snitch on him or no? Because all of these gray areas exist, bro. They do. So I'm saying I don't have if the situation is like that, then I truly don't know how to call it. If those were the circumstances, I don't really know how to call it. I never been in that kind of situation, and I'm not sure. Actually, I do know somebody who been in that situation before. And yes, the streets was calling him a rat for a while, but certain niggas, I mean, he's still alive. He's still running around doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? But certain niggas, like, he told them, they might have questioned him, they might have pulled them up on it. Yo, what's all that about? Niggas talk about your name on paperwork. And he explained this situation to him and they let him rock. That has happened. I'm familiar. That's a real situation that I'm aware of. I want to drive. I'm supposed to be on my way to go. Go to the dispensary and all of that, but I'm afraid that when I start driving, my signal gonna get whack. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. But I'm gonna give it a shot because I got stuff to do. But yeah, if I can't. I'm in a weird position, y'all. I pause. I can't drive with my glasses on. Can't really see with them. But then I can't see y'all comments without them. So y'all gonna have to forgive my old man. Flatten my nose with the so I can see a little bit of both. Please fasten driver's seatbelt. All right. Oh, all right. But what y'all think? I'll read your comment out loud. If you, y'all know how this go better than I do. Send a super chat, and I'll read your questions out loud. Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, I think we put too much emphasis on this to begin with. In case y'all haven't noticed, like a lot of the vlogs I do, when people be out here, when the culture is out here trying to cancel somebody that's of the culture, and I'll be out here trying to I'll be on my anti-cancel shit. Like I be trying to give them grace because a lot of times the internet be mad about some shit they don't know nothing about, or they be mad about some shit they guilty of their damn self. You know what I mean? So I intentionally, when it comes to somebody from our culture, I want to give them grace. Yes, I do have a bias. I want to give them grace. I mean, once I can't no more, I can't no more. I state that I was wrong. I fuck it out. I was wrong, and I most of the time I stop talking about it. You know what I mean? Unless it come up, I won't duck the topic, but I'll stop talking about it. I do need to. I want to holler at my bro Math Hoffa. Yes, that is my bro. I kind of disagree. Not kind of. I do. Yeah, I disagree with the fact that he put that out there prematurely. I don't know that. I don't know if he knew the impact that it would have, and if he did know that, then if he did know that, then I don't think that whatever issues him and Surf had were warrant that. You know what I'm saying? Like if he was just taking a jab and he didn't think it was going to get this out of hand. And again, that's negligence, that's a mistake and all of that. But yeah, it's so many shades of gray in the gray area. It's so many shades of gray. I don't. You don't want to put it out there. I know I wouldn't just throw it out there. I mean, it's still my son is still my bro. You know what I mean? But dudes are saying he testified first. I was watching a live from what's the dude Texago? Texago. I think he's a battle rapper. I've seen his name in battle rap stuff, but I just never seen him battle. But I caught some of his live, and he was saying that some situations he brought up a scenario where it's like, yo, if if a group of us get locked up, but one of us is famous and really get into some cheddar, it's not unheard of. Dudes might go, yo, listen, you a football player, you an NBA nigga, you got potential to be the next Jay-Z or whatever. Like, you go ahead and get out of here. Take the time, to cop out. We're gonna be all right. Just take care of us. Take care of us, take care of the set, take care of our family, whatever, whatever. And the celebrity nigga agree to that. Is that ratting? The response in his chat was mixed. It seemed a little bit half and half, but if you asking me, I say you good. I say he good if that's the case. You know what I mean? But clearly, I could say what we can all say this is snitching, that ain't snitching, this is really snitching, this ain't really. It's clear that the parameters vary from circle to circle, from hood to hood, from well, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe they do it. Maybe it's changing. But I'll just say this: that there is a lot of gray area, and ain't no denying that. And if you fall under the gray area, if you fall in within those parameters, then it's not a good thing for niggas to be out here putting that on, for somebody to call you that, and it take wildfire because somebody will tear your head off for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most niggas won't because the vast majority of so-called street niggas be soft in real life, and they not going to do nothing unless they got a battery or the battery in their back or the crowd or whatever. Have to be properly motivated. Also, a lot of the rats be tougher than a lot of the non-rats. I said that one time a dude got real offended. Well, he didn't get offended, but he took issue with me calling a nigga tough because he snitched. Look, listen, just because you tough don't mean you ain't snitch. That just snitching make you dishonorable. That don't mean that you can't fight. That don't mean that you won't shoot. Snitching just makes you foul, unworthy. Don't necessarily make you soft. Because if you snitch and you go to jail anyway, or look, if you snitch, you running the risk of drama for the rest of your life. Yeah, I just not said most niggas be soft and all of that, but not all of them. Pause. You still running the risk that one day you're gonna run up on one of those on somebody who live by the code for real. Anyway, how's my reception? Is it compromised? Because I'm driving. We good? Mm. But yeah, I have one question. Just to leave y'all with this. I don't want to be in here just dead spacing y'all to death and all that. But the question I leave us with is if we all agree, if we five deep, four of us agree to cop out, we talk to the fifth man and we like, yo, bro, there's no way you winning this. I've been through this before. You ain't never you the new nigga here. If you was here before, you would know already how many wins you don't got. This is what we blah 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 blah. And you like and that fifth nigga is like, no. They're like, well, we doing what we doing. Are those four dudes now raps? Because that's a possibility here. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm out.